As Christina mentions, we are 15 minutes away from opening our grain and livestock trade here on a Tuesday. Will it be a turnaround Tuesday in the grain? We have expanded limits in livestock. We'll talk about that in a minute. First, I want to welcome Rich Nelson from Allendale to our Market Day Report, kind of our leadoff hitter every day here. Rich, it's Crop Progress Tuesday. Let's talk about the numbers here that were unchanged and a little bit weaker in some cases.
Certainly true here. Now, as far as the trade's focus, we were looking for a small increase in condition ratings here for both corn and soybeans. Instead, corn is actually left unchanged, 67% across the nation, good to excellent. Soybean was expected to increase as well, but actually fell to by 1% to now 66%, good to excellent. So definitely a little disappointed as far as the corn and soybean end. Over on the wheat side of things here, spring wheat ratings also fell 1%, I guess concerning the past 3 weeks of heavy numbers, heavy declines. Maybe you can call that a little positive here. And as far as winter wheat conditions across the U.S., 49%. This was left unchanged from the previous week. And also the winter wheat harvest progress, actually a little less than expected, only 41% complete. Trade was expecting 44, so slightly disappointing numbers all around here.
Exactly, yeah. There's the nationally 41%, but as you say, winding things up in Texas, Oklahoma, halfway done already in Kansas. I think that's what they're at least a week or two ahead of schedule there, are they not?
Certainly true. And as far as this goes, trade still pointing out they're not quite getting the protein content they want to see. A lot of reports of 10%, 11%, not quite getting numbers at 12 that they want. But overall, job is getting done here for right now at a troubled pace here.
Let's go across Interstate 80, if we might, in corn and soybeans, major production areas. All these states are important, but these five would give us a majority of our crop each year. Interesting, Nebraska down 4% in 1 week, while the other states all showing positive advances from the week ago.
Definitely a great point here. And as far as the main issues going on, still pointing out that over the past 7 days, we actually did see some net drying still in that western portion, the western plains portion of the western corn belt. So Nebraska 74%, Iowa still doing okay roughly here, 79%, good to excellent. Eastern corn belt still struggling, 2% in Illinois, 46 in Indiana, and 58 in Ohio here.
And we turn to the soybeans the same way, going across that, take that road across Interstate 80 in those same states. As far as soybean conditions, pretty early. I'm not sure how they rate soybeans when they're just barely out of the ground here, Rich, but they must have a methodology that they use, obviously, to give us a percentage.
That sure is a great point here. So numbers down in Nebraska to 70%, good to excellent, 74 in Ohio, and 70 Illinois, Indiana 51, still struggling in there here. And it actually was a decline. And as far as Ohio, actually a small increase to now 60%, good to excellent.
I want to go to that spring wheat belt here. You've already mentioned that. That's kind of where the action was yesterday, no doubt. Pressure in Chicago and Kansas City, but higher in Minneapolis for all the obvious reasons here. And we see these spring wheat states, all except Montana, again, lower this past week.
And that's definitely a clear concern here for us, especially with this crop being such a limited geographic range. Once you have these problems going on, you cannot improve the crop. And so the fact we're sitting right here at this very troubling 40% good to excellent, market's got to respond, and market certainly is here.
Well, that's a great point. You know, you talk about corn and soybeans, you're talking, Ohio to Nebraska, Colorado, but when you're talking the spring wheat belt, that's a much smaller geographic area.
It sure is, especially when 80% of your product comes from just North Dakota itself, and everything else is more or less a surrounding area type of issue. So that is an issue which we can't quite fix here with this year's weather.
Rich, we're going to let you go here. We're going to check in with our friends in the livestock trade here and get started on the day, but we'll look forward to keeping in touch and visiting with you, leading things off tomorrow.
Sounds great. Look forward to it.
Thank you, Rich Nelson. And we'll be back and take a look at the livestock trade, and Ed Serwin joining us after this.